Hello, boys and girls, and thank you for tuning in to another story time with Miss Nesbitt. I am Miss Nesbitt, your narrator of this wonderful, wonderful winter story. We are in the month of January. Yes, a new year. And we are getting ready to read this month our winter stories. Because January is one of briskly, cold and wintry months. In some places you're having snow, maybe heavy winds, maybe all of those things are going on in some of your areas. Maybe it's raining and it's cold, or it just snow and all those things, and you're able to make snowmans. In some places you may be not, and just cold outside. Well, I want to read you a wonderful story I have found in my collection of books that I have, called The Biggest Snowman Ever by Steven Kroll, illustrated by Jeni, Bassett, published by Scholastics. All right. So this story is called The Biggest Snowman Ever. Let's read the introduction. Once there was two mice who fell in love with the same snowman. And this is how it happened. This book is a sequel to the bestseller, The Biggest Pumpkin Ever. So if you want to read the sequel, another book that based on this book is called The Biggest Pumpkin Ever. Let's get into our story for today. The Biggest Snowman Ever by Steven Kroll and illustrated by Jeni Bassett. Once there were two mice who fell in love with the same snowman, and this is how it happened. On a bright winter day, the mayor of Mouseville announced the town snowman contest. Whoever makes the biggest snowman will win a prize, he declared. All the mice were excited. The judging of the contest will take place in 2 weeks, said the mayor. Good luck to all of you. I'm going to make a real big snow princess, said Penelope. I'm going to make a really big snow Martin, said James. I'm going to make the biggest snowman ever, said Clayton, the house mouse. His friend Desmond, the field mouse, frowned. No, you're not. I'm going to make the biggest snowman ever. Oh, yeah, said Clayton. Oh, yeah, said Desmond. That night, it snowed, and huge drifts covered driveways, roads, and fields. It was the perfect beginning of the snowman contest. In town, Penelope began her snow princess, and James began his snow Martin. Out in the country, Clayton and Desmond began their snowmen. Clayton made a snowball and rolled it along the ground. The more he rolled it, the bigger it got. Before long, it had a large base for his snowman. Not far away, Desmond was doing the same thing. The next day, Clayton made a huge snowball from his snowman's belly. Not far away, Desmond did the same. The night Clayton brought his dad out to set the snowman, Dad scraped stretch his head. I don't know, son. It's gonna be a big, but I'm not sure it will be the biggest. Clayton smiled at him. I just gotta start, he said. Dad whispered in his ear, if you want to work faster, use a wheelbarrow to carry the snow. A little later, Desmond brought out his Uncle Vinny. I don't know, said Varner. It's going to be big, but I don't know it's going to be biggest. Desmond smiled. I'm just getting started, he said. Varney whispered in his ear. If you want to work faster, use a wheelbarrow to carry the snow. The next day, Clayton filled his wheelbarrow with snow. He pulled the snow into the snowman. He piled the snow onto the snowman. Then he rolled another snowball from the snowman's head. Not far away, Desmond did the same. A few days later, Desmond ran into town to look at James Snow Martin and Penelope Snow Princess. Hey, he said, all of your snowmans are the same size. This afternoon, Clayton made the same discovery. The next day, while working on the snowman, Clayton had an idea. He brushed the snow off the gloves and walked around Desmond. At the same moment, Desmond had an idea. He brushed off the snow off his gloves and walked towards Clayton. They bumped into each other and fell down. I have an idea, said Clayton. I have an idea too, said Desmond. We should do this together, said Clayton. No one said we couldn't, said Desmond. First, they rolled each part of Desmond's snowman over to the middle of the field. They rolled each part of Clayton's snowman over. They piled the snow on top of each other. Clayton dropped a floppy hat on the snowman's head. Desmond added a long scarf hanging coal eyes and a giant carrot nose. When they were done, they had built the biggest snowman ever. The morning of the contest, Phil Mouse on snowmobiles brought the judge to the country. You both won the prize, said the mayor, holding Clayton and Desmond a large wedge of Swiss cheese. Let the celebration begin. Everyone gathered and danced around the snowman, drank hot chocolate, and ate donuts. We did it, said Clayton and Desmond, jumping up and down. We did it together. And that's the end of the biggest snowman ever. I thought that was a wonderful story because it talks about doing things together. You know, some things we can do by ourselves, and some things are so much fun, so much excitement, and so much more enthusiastic to do it with a friend. And Desmond and Clayton learned that if they do it together, then they could win, instead of trying to do it apart. And they lived in the same area. That was good also. So I think that was so awesome. Now, have you ever thought about doing something with your friend that you could do together and not so much by yourself? And maybe even meeting new friends to be able to do this project together. I think it's so awesome. So this is Miss Nesbitt with Storytime with Miss Nesbitt. I thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you join me for another wonderful story here with Storytime with Miss Nesbitt. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.